In this video, I'm going to solve 7 questions of one-step inequalities. So let's begin. The first question is, solve for x. Your answer must be simplified. So the inequality is minus 30 is less than x over minus 4. So to isolate the x, let me write the inequality minus 30 is less than x divided by minus 4. So to isolate the x, I need to multiply both sides of the equation of the inequality by minus 4. And since I'm multiplying by a negative number, this will flip the inequality from less than to greater than. So the sign is flipped. On the right hand side I'm left with x, because minus 4 x divided by minus 4 multiplied by minus 4 is leaving me with just the x, because the minus 4 dividing by minus 4 multiplying by minus 4, I'm left with just the x. And on the left hand side I have minus 40 multiplied by minus 4, which is 120. So 120 is greater than x. Okay, so let's plug in this result in the original inequality. So minus 30 is less than x is 120. 120 divided by minus 4. So minus 30 is less than this is wrong. Minus 40 divided by minus 4. No, 120 divided by minus 4 is minus 30. This is incorrect, because minus 40 is not less than minus 30. X is greater than, okay, so x cannot be 120, it has to be greater than, okay, so then it will be correct. Okay, so I'm not plugging in 120 to test the inequality. I need to plug in a number that is greater than, it has to be greater than 120, it has to be at least 121, and then the inequality will be correct. Okay. So x needs to be greater than 120. No. X needs to be less than. Oh. isolate the x, I'm multiplying both sides of the equation by minus 4. So on the left hand side I have minus 30 times minus 4. And since I'm multiplying by a negative number, the less than or greater than sign flips and it becomes from less than to greater than. And on the right hand side I'm left with x. Okay, so on the left hand side of the inequality I have 120. And 120 needs to be greater than x. So if I test the original inequality, minus 30 is less than, so x has to be smaller than 120. So let's take for instance 100 divided by minus 4. So this is incorrect. Minus 30 is less than minus 25. So this is incorrect. Ah, it is correct. Oh. Minus 40 is indeed less than minus 25. If this is 0, okay. So x has to be less than 120. Because if, for instance, x will be 200, okay, so if it's 100, it's okay. If I plug in minus 30 is less than, let's say x is 200, or yeah, 200 divided by minus 4, then minus 30 is less than minus 50, so this is incorrect, okay, because minus 50 is to the left of minus 30 on the number line, so minus 50 is less than minus 30 and it's not greater than. So this is incorrect, which means that x has to be less than, x has to be less than 120. X is less than 120. Good. Solve for x. Your answer must be simplified. Okay, so the inequality is minus 36 plus x is less than 8. Okay, I want to isolate the x on the left hand side of the inequality, so I add 36 to both sides of the inequality. So on the left hand side I am left with x, because minus 36 plus 36 cancel out each other. So x is less than, and on the right hand side of the equation of the inequality I have 8 plus 36. So x has to be less than 36 plus 8 is 44. So x has to be less than 44. Let's try this in the original inequality. So if I plug in, for instance, 40, so minus 46 plus 40 is less than 8. So minus 36 is negative, 40 is positive, so the result is the difference between the two, and the result is positive because 40 is greater, so the difference between the two is 4, and the result is positive, so it's positive 4 is less than 8, so it's good. And if I plug in, let's say 50 is greater, then the result should be incorrect. So minus 36 plus 50, is it less than 8? So the difference here is 14, and 14 is not less than 8. Okay, so x here needs to be less than 44. Next, a question. Solve for x. Your answer must be simplified. X over 3. So the inequality says x over 3 is greater than or equal to minus 33. I am aiming to isolate the x, so I need to multiply both sides of the inequality by 3. So x divided by 3 multiplied by 3 is just x. So x is greater than or equal to minus 33 times 3, which means that x is greater than or equal to minus 33 times 3 is minus 29. So this is minus 99, sorry, 99. Okay, so this is the result. Let's examine a value. So x needs to be greater than or equal to minus 99. So let's plug in minus 99. So minus 99 over 3 has to be greater than or equal to minus 33. So this is correct because minus 99 divided by 3 is minus 33, and it is indeed equal to minus 33. Now if I plug in a value that is greater than minus 99, let's say minus 90, okay, because minus 90 on the number line, if here is, this is 0, this is 0, and this is minus 99, so minus 90 is greater than minus 99 because it is to the right of minus 99. So minus 90 divided by, this is the value that I'm plugging in instead of x, which is greater than minus 99. So minus 90 divided by 3 has to be greater than or equal to minus 33. Minus 90 divided by 3 is minus 30, and minus 30 is indeed greater than minus 33, because on the number line, if this is minus 33, so minus 30 will be here to the right of minus 33, and it is correct. So x, the answer is x has to be greater than or equal to minus 99. Next question. Solve for x. Your answer must be simplified. So the inequality says x over minus 8 is greater than or equal to minus 5. Now to isolate the x, I need to multiply both sides of the equation by minus 8. Okay, because here I'm dividing the x by minus 8. If I multiply by minus 8, then I will have only x on the left hand side of the equation. And now the sign flips. The inequality sign becomes, instead of greater than or equal to, it becomes less than or equal to minus 5 times minus 8. So x is less than or equal to, this is minus, negative times a negative is a positive, so 5 times 8 is 40, so x is less than or equal to 40. Okay, so let's plug in, for instance, 32, which is less than 40. 32 divided by minus 8 has to be greater than or equal to minus 5. 32 divided by minus 8 is minus 4, and minus 4 is indeed greater than minus 5, because on the number line this is 0, this is minus 5, minus 4 is here to the right of minus 5, which means that it is greater than minus 5. Okay, so the answer is x has to be less than or equal to 40. Next question, solve for x. Your answer must be simplified. So the inequality says minus 4 plus x is less than or equal to 9. Now I need to isolate the x. So I need to add 4 to both sides of the inequality. So I am left with, on the left hand side, with x. Because minus 4 plus 4 cancel out each other. So I'm left here with x is less than or equal to 9 plus 4. 9 plus 4 is 13. So x needs to be less than or equal to 13. Let's take 12 for instance. So minus 4 plus, instead of x, I'm plugging in a value which is less than 13, let's say 12, is less than or equal to 9. So here I have a negative number and a positive number. So the result is the difference between the two. 12 minus 8 is minus 4 is 8, and the result is positive because 12 is greater. So the result is 8, positive, okay, because 12 is positive. So 8 is indeed less than or equal to 9. So this is the result. X needs to be less than or equal to 13. X needs to be less than or equal to 13. Next inequality. Okay, so the inequality is minus 18 is less than 9x. So to isolate the x, I need to divide both sides of the equation by 9. So on the right hand side of the inequality I have x, and on the left hand side I have minus 18 divided by 9. So 18 divided by 9 is 2, and the result is negative. So minus 2 is less than x, or x has to be greater than minus 2. X has to be greater than minus 2. So now let's test the value. So let's say, for instance, that's on the number line I take, if this is minus 2 here, so let's take minus 1. Minus 1 is greater than minus 2. So let's plug in minus 1. So minus 18 is less than 9 times minus 1. Okay, so minus 18 is less than minus 9, which is correct because of the number line. Minus 18 is here, minus 9 is here, because minus 9 is to the right of minus 18, and so minus 18 is indeed less than minus 9. Okay, so x has to be greater than minus 2. Next inequality, solve for x. Your answer must be simplified. The inequality says x over minus 9 is greater than or equal to 3. So to isolate the x, I need to multiply both sides of the inequality by minus 9. Okay, because I'm dividing by minus 9, so if I'm multiplying by minus 9, they will cancel out each other. So on the left hand side of the inequality I have x, and since I'm multiplying by a negative number, this flips the inequality sign from greater than to less than or equal to. Okay, so on the right hand side I'm multiplying 3 times minus 9, which is minus 27. Okay, so x has to be less than or equal to minus 27. Okay, so let's check this. So this is the result. Let's plug in, for instance, I will take a value. If this is minus 27, so let's take, for instance, minus 30, which is less than minus 27. So if I'm plugging in, instead of x, minus 30 divided, let's take a value that is divisible by 9, so let's take minus 36. Minus 36 divided by minus 9 is greater than or equal to 3. So minus 36 divided by minus 9 is 4. Negative divided by negative is positive. So 4 is indeed greater than or equal to 3. So the result is x needs to be less than or equal to minus 27. X needs to be less than or equal to minus 27. Good. Thank you for watching. Since I had one mistake, in the next video I'm going to take this practice again, one step inequalities. So I will see you in the next video.